Chapter 8, Wisdom's Price. The town library loomed before them, its grand entrance flanked by towering nutcracker statues, their usually jovial faces now etched with an unsettling grimness, as if reflecting the turmoil within. Holly and Jack exchanged a determined glance, steeling themselves for the challenge ahead. Pushing open the heavy oak doors, they revealed a scene of utter chaos. Books flew through the air like errant birds, their pages fluttering wildly as if trying to escape their bindings. Shelves floated haphazardly, creating a disorienting maze that shifted with each blink, defying any sense of order. Holly gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief, clutching her pointed witch hat to keep it from being swept away by the whirlwind of pages. "This is worse than the kitchen catastrophe," she exclaimed, her voice barely audible over the rustling of pages and the creaking of wooden shelves clattering against one another. The air was thick with the scent of old paper and ink, each book a whirling dervish of literary chaos, their spines cracking and pages flapping like wings in flight. Jack nodded, his jaw set firmly as he surveyed the chaos, his shimmering blue coat reflecting the erratic dance of flying books. "We need to find the wisdom fragment quickly," he said, his voice steady despite the pandemonium around them. He dodged a wayward encyclopedia, its pages fanning out like a peacock's tail, and sidestepped a swooping atlas, his ice-blue eyes scanning the tumultuous scene with strategic precision. A globe spun past him, its continents blurring into a whirl of geography and history, tracing an erratic orbit around their heads. They ventured deeper into the library, ducking and weaving through the aerial assault of literature. Holly reached out tentatively, her fingers brushing the spine of a particularly old tome that seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly glow. Its leather binding, worn smooth by time, was embossed with symbols that seemed to pulse with a silent rhythm, beckoning her like a siren's call. It shivered under her touch, a soft hum resonating from its pages, as if acknowledging her presence. She pulled it free from its floating shelf, the book's weight settling heavily in her hands, grounding her amidst the chaos. The scent of aged parchment and dust filled her nostrils, carrying with it a sense of ancient magic and untold stories, a whisper of secrets waiting to be revealed. "Holly?" Jack questioned, concern etching lines around his eyes as he noticed her intense focus on the book. He stepped closer, ready to offer support, his gaze never leaving her face. Around them, books continued to swoop and dive like a flock of birds caught in a storm, their pages casting shifting shadows on the worn wooden floor. "It's calling to me," she murmured, her gaze fixed on the ancient text. She opened it, her fingers tracing the intricate illustrations that seemed to dance on the pages. Constellations and symbols mirrored those on the celestial star, each one a piece of a puzzle that felt eerily familiar, stirring a deep resonance within her. A sudden surge of power coursed through her, the book's magic resonating with something deep within her core, awakening a sense of connection she had never felt before. Her eyes widened as she read, her breath catching in her throat. "Jack, this book, it mentions the celestial star. And it says I'm connected to it. It speaks of a lineage, a responsibility, a legacy passed down through generations." Her voice trailed off, the weight of the revelation settling over her like a cloak, both comforting and burdensome, a mantle of destiny that she could not ignore. Jack looked at her, a mix of pride and worry warring in his eyes. He wanted to tell her how he felt, to propose right then and there, but the timing seemed off amidst the danger and uncertainty. Swallowing his feelings, he focused on their immediate surroundings, his instincts honed by years of navigating treacherous ice realms. "We should keep moving," he urged gently, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. His touch was cool, a comforting contrast to the warm, pulsating magic that thrummed through her veins. As if on cue, a groaning sound echoed through the library, cutting through the constant rustling of pages. Above them, a massive bookshelf teetered precariously, threatening to topple over. Holly looked up, her heart pounding in her chest as she realized the imminent danger. The shelf began to fall, books raining down like a literary avalanche, threatening to bury them beneath a mountain of knowledge. A heavy atlas spiraled downwards, its gold-leafed pages fanning out like a bird of prey, its descent marked by the whistling of wind through its pages. Panic surged through her, but with it came a rush of power, unlike anything she had felt before. Her hands moved instinctively, sugar-infused magic pouring forth like a river of sparkling sweetness. The air filled with the scent of gingerbread and peppermint, the magic taking physical form as it flowed from her fingertips. The falling bookshelf halted mid-air, encased in a shimmering cocoon of hardened candy, its surface glistening like a frozen waterfall, refracting the chaotic scene into prisms of light. The books stopped their chaotic dance, suspended in a web of sparkling sugar strands, their pages gently fluttering as if sighing in relief, finally freed from their frenzied flight. A sense of calm washed over the library, the magical silence broken only by the soft tinkling of settling sugar crystals, a melody of sweet serenity amidst the former storm. Jack stared at her, awe and admiration shining in his eyes. "Holly, your powers," he began, his voice filled with wonder. He reached out, touching the candied bookshelf, its surface cool and smooth beneath his fingers, a testament to the incredible magic that had flowed from her. The library, once a chaotic storm of literature, now stood still, as if holding its breath in reverence to Holly's newfound strength. The air hummed with a gentle energy, the books floating softly, their pages rustling gently as if whispering secrets of ancient magic and forgotten lore. She met his gaze, a newfound confidence burning within her like a steady flame. "I think I'm finally understanding them," she said, a sense of determination settling over her. Her green eyes reflected the magical glow of the library, her curly red hair framing her face like a halo of fire, a beacon of strength and resolve. The air around her seemed to hum with an energy that was both familiar and new, a testament to her growing mastery of her magical abilities, a power that was uniquely hers, yet intertwined with the very essence of Mary Hollow and its enchanted history. Just then, a familiar figure dashed into the library, his marshmallow white hair disheveled and his usually pristine apron smudged with what looked like chocolate stains. "Holly!" "Jack! Thank goodness I found you!" Marshmallow exclaimed, his voice breathless from exertion and relief. His eyes darted around the library, taking in the chaos and the sudden stillness with equal measures of bewilderment and awe. The sight of the candied bookshelf and the suspended tomes seemed to momentarily stun him, his mouth agape in disbelief. They rushed towards him, the library's chaos momentarily forgotten as concern for their friend took over. "Marsh, what's wrong?" Holly asked, her heart still pounding from their narrow escape, her mind already racing with the possibility of new dangers lurking in the magical town of Mary Hollow. Jack stood beside her, his hand resting protectively on the small of her back, his gaze scanning the room for any further threats. The library, now a tableau of frozen literary chaos, stood as a silent witness to their growing bond and the mysteries yet to be unraveled. Marsh looked at them, his eyes filled with urgency. "It's the town square. Something's happening to the Christmas tree."